forgotten.
Huh?
Every one of this man's movements are slow and deliberate. His face shows neither emotion nor expression, and his voice is devoid of passion. Have you come to join us? Who are you? I am nobody important. I'm nothing at all. Uh, well, tell me about this place. This is the old city. This was Syrian before there was Syrian. This was a part of the city that the Azarics once ruled. Most people have forgotten the Azarics. They try to forget them, just as they've forgotten us. So they rebuilt Syrian above. They rebuilt Syrian to cover up the old city. But surely not all of old Syrian was covered. Not everything was covered. Is Azaric Keep still there? It has been many years since I left the surface. Why would they want to forget old Syrian? There are too many horrible memories here. There were too many deaths, too many murders committed here. The Azarics were tyrants. They killed those who opposed them. They killed for sport. They killed because they could. Arakra's pit is still here. Have you heard of it? They say Queen Sindala liked to send prisoners to the pit and watch as they tried to flee the place. Nobody ever escaped. Some of us have wandered near the pit and vanished. Arakra must still be alive. I tried to wander by there once, but I'm still here. Perhaps I don't know where to look. I have been forgotten. I might as well not exist at all. This place is fitting for us, is it not? The world wants to forget this place, just as they have forgotten us. Okay. What exactly are you doing down here? Like all the others, I came here because I belong nowhere else. I'm forgotten. What exactly does it mean? I have no family. I have no friends. The social system of the world above had long since forgotten me. I may as well have never existed. So you came here to start over. Start over? I never had a beginning to start over. This place is not much different from the world above. Whether I'm here or there or anywhere else, I'm alone and ignored. I know no joy, I know no love. There is no difference that makes this place better than the one above. No, there is one difference that makes this better than the one above. There is nobody else here but the forgotten. Here I live in quiet solitude as I have always have, but here there are no constant reminders of that which I do not have. There are no families here, there are no friends, there's only me and the forgotten. Aren't you among friends now? These are not my friends. I have no friends. They have no friends. There are no more friends than the brick and the cobble. We are here by coincidence. That is why we came here in the first place. We came here to escape the constant reminders of what we don't have, of what we have lost, of those that have forgotten us. Right, is there any point in talking to you losers? Okay, have you ever heard of the seer? The seer? Yes, I have heard of this man. He is like us, forgotten by the world above, yet he is also unlike us. I want to be remembered. I want to be someone again. But the seer chooses to be here in exile. He wants people to forget him because he thinks it is better that way. Why? Many bad things were done by his direction once. He worked for the tyrant king and queen of all Syrian. They used his knowledge of everything to defeat their enemies and much worse. He does not like to speak of his past. He wants to forget, but he can never forget. I wish others would never forget me. So where can I find him? The Temple of Hesped. The Seer's Temple lies west. Right, goodbye. Were you forgotten too? You might as well stay here. It is no different from the world above. Here you will forget the world, just as the world has forgotten you. Right. You people are nuts. Ah, Akra's Pit. At least we know where we must go, so we know what places are extra and what aren't.
Ortano, Fortigiamar. Not a
Sorry.
chance.
It's not a big place. Temple of Hesped, Akra's Pit, and is that it? More forgotten? Couple of rats scurrying about. Yeah, this pretty much seems to have the temple, and that's about it. And the place of no return. Right, let's go to the pit. How bad could it be? I mean, it could be pretty bad, but I doubt anyone with our experience and equipment has ever stuck their nose there, so... Entrance. Divining Pool. You peer into the swirling water of the pool and see images of Akra's Pit appear before you. Whatever magic that once controlled the pool has long since dissipated, so you cannot use it to obtain a map of the pit. Ancient Scroll. You wipe the dust and cobwebs off this ancient scroll to read writing in an ink that has faded from age. It appears to be a list of contestants who were forced into the pit. There are times next to each of the names, but you are quite certain that the times do not correspond to how long it took the person to exit the pit. The times correspond to how long the person survived. I wonder if there's a way to replenish the magic. I don't exactly have a huge amount of divination magic. I think the premonition is my only divination spell that I constantly use. You look into the portal and see what appears to be the dirty stone floor of a crypt. This must be Akra's Pit. You don't know if you're able to exit through the same portal. Don't care. Well, it's not that big of a map. There's the exit portal. How bad could it be? Eponine looks like she has something to say. I don't mean to state the obvious. I don't want to insult your intelligence. But those pillars, if you destroy them, the ceiling is going to come down on us. Yeah, what advice do you have then? This dungeon is a place of evil, so I'd like to collapse the ceiling to close it off forever. To do that, we need to destroy the pillars. The safest approach would be to destroy the one closest to the exit portal last, otherwise we'll seal ourselves in. I'm sure that's obvious to you though. I appreciate that any advice you have. I'm glad I could help then. Right. Talon's note. Not only have I failed to avenge my wife and child, but their murderers have thrown me into this pit through which none have emerged alive. I curse the names of Azra and Sindalar Azaric. If only I was stronger. How could the gods be so blind so as to grant such power to these tyrants, yet the innocent are left defenseless to stop them? I am more determined now than ever to escape this dungeon and bring such vengeance upon the Azarics that they so deserve. Should the gods continue their abandon of me, I write this note so that those in the future might use my knowledge to free themselves of this place. Frosted sword. I'll take it. It's a totally worthless piece of crap. However, that's the first rusted sword I've seen in this particular campaign so far. Usually if rusted things are commonplace, you do see them quite often. Probably can't enter this. So
No quarter!
gives us a good idea how long it'll take to destroy these. So maybe about 30 points of damage. Not too much. A lot of skeletons.
Miong tetra glash. Miong tetra glash. Miong tetra glash.
Ooh, that's a lot of traps. All the black ones are
Sorry.
traps. Right. Can do it this way. Floor lever. And that disarmed all the traps, right. Precious gem. This precious looking gem refracts light off of its many faceted surface. It's not really a normal gem again.
To the fight!
I don't think these are gonna be the only pillars this place has, so I'm not too worried about smashing them. Maybe after we've done through the halfway point, I might be a bit more cautious about destroying these. Stinking cloud.
Done and done.
Scintillating sphere. Ooh, more traps. Spiders. A large bone. Yeah, these are very suspicious items to find suddenly. I would imagine these are just as durable as the pillars. Okay. Soon it's gonna rain spiders. See if we can trigger them. Ooh, there we are.
By my direction, attack! My steel will strike true.
Mean spider. Ah, it's already dead.
We shall not be defeated!
By my direction, attack!
Okay, they're dire spiders. You don't have to cast your best spells to kill them. The blasted thing was probably dead before the first spell even landed. So you don't have to do anything. Let the others do it.
By my direction, attack!
Vile blood. Human blood.
By my direction, attack!
I made it past the spider then, but not without being bitten on the leg. And now I feel the poison coursing through my veins. My escape has been halted by a set of locked gates that no amount of bashing or lockpicking can breach. I suspect the key is in the chests that are scattered about the area. I see riddles upon them when I examine them. Ooh, that hurts.
Time to die!
Okay, after this there's 1, 2, 3 rooms. So I'm thinking of not destroying pillars after this until I know exactly how many there are. I know nothing of morality. I end disputes with finality. Human or elf, dwarf or yourself. Death is the same. This will remain. The blood or bone, I'd guess. Probably bone. Covet me, then desire me. Lust for me, then kill for me. That would be the precious gem. It pains you to see that which fills some with dread, but you have to respect it, as without it you're dead. Okay, you'll take the blood. Precious gem. So bone is with you, and I guess the rusty sword is with the last chest. I wonder if any other weapon would do. Does it have to be the rusty sword? I'll regenerate to full health. Antidote, lesser restoration. Stag beetles. Seriously. Hive mother. Hive mother might actually be fairly dangerous. Stink beetles. Um, Immunity to mind affecting. Does that mean that paralysis will never work? It's a fortitude save, but technically it might be a paralysis effect.
Hold this spot. Don't move.
Fair enough.
Of course.
Yeah, immune to mind affecting spells.
By my direction, attack! Follow me, now.
Fair enough.
Follow me, now.
Right.
By my direction, attack! Hold this spot. Don't move. Ortano, fortillamas!
Right, Hive Mother doesn't give a shit. He takes quite a lot of physical hits though. Much more than I thought he would. Yep. These are weak. You're weak. Right, I don't want to deal with traps, so looks like we're clear on traps. I didn't see any pillars, but there's still must. Oh, there's one.
Hold this spot. Don't move. Yes. By my direction, attack!
Looks like a battle arena. Oh shit. Arterra, very difficult. It's basically a demon. Need to get rid of the smaller sons of bitches first. Arterra.
Out of our way!
To be fair, nothing here was particularly dangerous, so you could come back here some time ago easily. And this is one of those places where if you come in, you have to see it through. There's no ifs or buts about that. So it's certainly understandable why this can't be too difficult. I mean, just sticking your nose in here out of curiosity, and then you could be fucked. Looks like the last pillar. Last fuck you chest. You can heal yourself. Glove. I managed to sneak past Arterra, but the poison has rendered my legs immobile. How cruel fate is, for the portal is but a few paces ahead, yet I no longer have the strength to reach it. One day the Azurics shall fall, and I hope upon the gods that the bringer of their doom shall visit the pain upon them that they have inflicted upon so many. Right.
Ortano, Fortigiama!
Ooh, the ceiling begins to fall. Let's fuck out. You've sealed Arachra's pit forever. Good for me. Wasn't too difficult either, so minor diversion. The Torch Temple. I don't particularly care what the Forgotten have to say about that. Not a big place. It's like a library more than anything else. Ooh, title screen music. This is a rare treat.
Hello to you.
There is an undeniable sense of wisdom and depth in the eyes of this Hespite priest. His expression is peaceful, but you wonder what layers are hidden beneath his tranquil visage. Hello to you. We have few visitors here. What is this place? This is the Temple of Hesped, built over a century ago during the reign of King Asra and Queen Sindalar. Most of the books you will find here you will not find anywhere else in the world. So much knowledge going to waste. Where is the seer? He is in the chamber of worship at the furthest western end of the temple. Hesped enlighten you. Earthquake, mass heal. Can't use them, but might as well take them. Great wilting, incendiary cloud. Other normal Hespites. Lucking my goddamn way.
By my direction,
What are the?
attack!
Why did you? Fuck. Oh, my guys are stuck on the other side. Premonition, Big B's clenched fist. Okay, the seer. This frail, shriveled human is so ancient you wonder how he has survived so long. Mottled, wrinkled skin and ragged white hair hang loosely off his brittle bones. His eyes are motionless as you approach. The seer is blind.
I greet you, my child.
You hear him wheezing for breath as you approach. As his visage becomes clearer, you notice that his eyes remain motionless and blinking, fixed on a position somewhere in the distance. The seer! He's blind! Such a cruel irony! His voice is weak and raspy, barely audible even in the hushed silence of the temple, where the loudest noises are the flickering flames of torches and your own footsteps. At last you arrive, Roland of Edinburgh. I'm honored to finally meet you. Then you know I am the seer, the chosen of Hesped, the god of knowledge. I wish I was as honored to meet you as you are to meet me, but honor is not appropriate when meet with thee, who will bring my doom. What are you talking about? The reasons will become clear to you as they have become clear to me in my visions. Then the legends are true. You can see the future. Though I was born blind, I was gifted by Hesped with the ability to see visions. I do not see the past, nor can I see the future. However, I can see all possible paths that led to the present and all possible paths leading towards the future. I can see a merchant walk into his store. Most paths show him arriving and having a normal day. He will go home to his wife and children and have supper. Then he will retire for the day and awaken the next. Yet another path has him being waylaid by thugs. He will be robbed at knife point. He will struggle, but he will be subdued and he will be killed. Most paths have him arriving safely, but every path is different and every path is possible. There are some paths that lead always to the same result. My arrival here was eventual, just as your arrival here was eventual. There could be no other way. Why are you here in the old city? He sighs and slowly shakes his head. I dwell in this lost temple in the old city because I have not yet paid for sins of the past. More than a century ago, my temple was captured by Asra and Sindalar Azaric, powerful Hecatian sorcerers who were building an army to conquer Istar. They were not the first to attempt this, and they will not be the last. Azaric slaughtered most acolytes of other faiths but their own, yet they allowed me to live so that I might serve them. They used my knowledge of all things to aid them in their conquests. They used my knowledge to build machines of destruction and to equip their battalions for war. They used my visions to foresee enemy strategies and to counter them effectively. They were powerful, but backed by my knowledge, they were unstoppable. They conquered all the land that is Myr today, and they built Sirion to be their capital. This temple they constructed for me. Do you regret helping them? I foresaw the end of every battle. I foresaw the deaths of hundreds of thousands. I cannot regret that which I know would happen due to the use of my knowledge. I did not have to help them, but help them I did. Hesped teaches that knowledge is to be shared, and with the Azarics, I shared my visions and my knowledge of war. The Azarics could not rule forever. This I told them. I foresaw the rebellion of Izarintain and informed them of it, but the Azarics were defeated nonetheless. Their defeat was not inevitable. They chose defeat. Even if they couldn't rule forever, they could still rule for years, perhaps decades. Nobody chooses defeat. Yet the Azarics did. They knew of the rebellion and could have suppressed it as they had all others, yet they chose the path of defeat. During the rebellion, many saw me as one of the enemy. The Valenurians arrived then, and they in particular demanded our deaths. They demanded my death to serve justice. My loyal Hespides and I fled Syrian then, returning years later to this temple and our books when the Syrian you see above was built, and the old city was abandoned for its memories. You were an accomplice, but I don't know if you deserve death. By Valenor's decree, I deserve death. I aided two of the greatest tyrants in Arterra's history, but what I deserve is irrelevant. Only eventualities are relevant, as such as your reason for coming here. You should delay your questions no longer. What is my true identity? He sighs. The reason for your journey to Istar and your arrival thus is to ask this one question of me. You are Roland, stepchild of Tobiasen and Margosa, the savior of Edinburgh. Yes, but what else? Years ago, there was a temple far to the south of Syrian that was dedicated to the worship of Hecacius, the god of death. The priest and priestess gave birth to a child there, but could not decide on a suitable name for him yet. Shortly after the birth of this child, there was an attack on the temple and everyone was murdered in the attack, except for the mother and father, who escaped with their unnamed child. They were chased for days, but were eventually caught and slain as well. The child was meant to be sacrificed, but was rescued by Tobiasen and Margosa, and taken to Claymore in hiding. As you have no doubt guessed, they named that child Roland, the child of the murdered Hecacian priest and priestess is you. The attack on the temple, the murder of your parents, your kidnapping by your would-be step-parents, these are all events that occurred because of you. Few people have known since your birth, but I'm going to tell you now, Roland. You are the chosen of Hecacius, the god of death. I can't believe this. There must be some mistake. Roland, could this be true? You are one of the chosen of the god of death? There is no mistake, and I cannot lie. The taint of the god of death is upon you. How do I know you're telling the truth? Because he's the fucking seer. You are the chosen of Hecacius as surely as you are human. While truth is in one's beliefs, you disbelieve me less than you refuse to believe me. Why would he choose me? Some say the gods have a reason for everything. Some say the gods need no reasons. Only Hecacius himself could tell you the reason for your selection. Many have died before you, and many will yet die before you. Perhaps that is the legacy of your selection as the chosen of the god of death. Or perhaps that is the reason for your being his chosen. So what does this mean? There are an infinite number of paths one might take in one's lifetime. Destiny is defined by those paths that are most common. Most paths available to you will lead to great power. My time runs short. You have questions about your past and your future. These answers can be found at the Temple of Acacias. He draws a crumbled piece of parchment from his robe. I am a guardian, one of three. Our wards are pieces of a single map. I give to you the first piece as compensation for the crimes of my past. A second guardian lairs in the depths of the ruins of Amridel. The third dwells among the shadows of Dimrush Vale. Speak to a cartographer for directions to these locations. You must find all three pieces to complete the whole. This will lead you to the hidden Temple of Acacias, the only remaining temple of the god of death in Myr. You must go now. I need more information before I go. He shakes his head. You must not delay any more, for the truth of your identity draws danger even as it draws power. But I will indulge you with one more fact. The chosen of Acacias have ever been evil, weaving paths of destruction until their own deaths. The Azarics were merely worshippers of Acacias, and even they conquered much of Istar and left thousands dead in their wake. Most temples of the god of death were destroyed by those who would defend the weak, such as the Valenurians. The only surviving temple is this one you seek, and it survived only because it was sacked by a different enemy. Your birth was foreseen by another, and you were meant to be replaced. Those who masterminded the attack on this temple, the death of your parents and the ritual that was meant to sacrifice you, they are one and the same. Who are they? The seer does not get a chance to answer your question, as in that moment you hear the footsteps of heavily armored warriors approaching behind you. Sir Falder looks over the corpse of the seer, a grim expression on his face. 100 years he has awaited just punishment for his crimes. It finally ends. What did you kill him for? The seer aided Asra and Sindalar Azric in the conquering of many nations and the slaughter of many thousands of people a century ago. He had evaded every inquisitor who sought him. Until now. Sir Nestor is clearly unhappy with the seer's death. I thought we were going to arrest him. Arrest will not bring back the lives of the thousands who died because of his actions during Azaric's rule. Well, nothing will. His death didn't make a difference either. Neither will his death. You are inexperienced, Nestor. Too many criminals are set free only to commit crimes again. Too many criminals escape with less punishment than what they deserve. Until we administer punishment to criminals equal to the crimes they commit, we will never put an end to evil. I'm not sure if he deserved death or not. Just killing him on sight, though, that's maybe an overkill. I don't have satisfactory options here that would express my thoughts on the matter. He was tool of greater evil, he didn't deserve death. Even criminals deserve a chance at restitution. Your cold justice makes you no better than a criminal. I agree, he deserved nothing but death. I have to pick one. He was a tool, but he was a willing tool. Chance of restitution, not always. The cold justice makes you no better than a criminal, I wouldn't say that. But it's definitely problematic. He deserved nothing but death. I'm not sure if he deserved nothing but death, but it's not exactly a huge act of misjustice to kill him. It just... why, in the middle of a conversation, why murder him? I think your cold just... no. Shit. Your cold justice makes you no better than a criminal. It is sympathy for criminals that makes justice not sufficiently effective to prevent crime. Tolerance for criminals is the reason there continues to be injustice in the world. Well, that's clearly rubbish. Sir Falder studies you carefully for a moment, his expression ever grim. So you are the chosen of the god of death. That would explain your success. How long were you eavesdropping on me? Long enough to get the answers I needed. I've long wondered about your abilities. No common adventurer could have accomplished what you have accomplished in your lifetime. The stench of battle and death are left in your wake. I should have suspected that you are more than you claim to be. What are you talking about? You're the one who killed the seer. I killed the seer because he deserved death. This is in sharp contrast to the deaths that you bring. That's to appease the god of death himself. You are predisposed to kill indiscriminately and predisposed to commit acts of evil. Look at the destruction wrought by the other faiths. The Azarites think only of battle, using violence to justify their means. The Mythicans think only of their experiments and never consider the impact they have on others. Knowledge has been proven to be dangerous, a weapon that has caused untold deaths in our history. Love is the justification of countless foolish acts of passion. I want to put an end to death and destruction, violence and mayhem. I want there to be fairness and equity, balance and righteousness. Justice is the only way to achieve goodness in this world. Right. I don't want to argue with him because it's a gigantic waste of time. You only see what you want to see. I see the truth that Valinor shows me. I only wish others could see the same. Yeah, but if you could see the same as others, you wouldn't be... Yeah, you see the problem? It works both ways. You are guilty of dealing with the seer, a known outlaw of Myr. You are guilty not only of being Hecatian, but of being the chosen of the god of death. I need no further proof of your intents and influences than the succubus you travel with, a feat from the abyss who by all right should have met the end of my blade when we first met. But I do not mean my master harm. I do not mean anyone harm. Keep your lies to yourself, fiend. You and your master are one and the same. You twisted Valinor's teaching to suit your own goals, Sir Faldor. You're not listening to us. You're not even listening to Valinor anymore. No, it is you who have been corrupted by these people you travel with. I sense goodness in your heart, but you have obviously been tainted by their evil. Striking you down will hurt me more than it will hurt you. Sir Baldor, you cannot be serious. Surely you do not sense corruption in this lady's heart. The seer evaded capture for the killing of thousands, but Roland is guilty only of being born with a taint. Surely we cannot kill this man only for speaking with the seer. Your objection is noted, Sir Nestor. We shall discuss this further detail once we have subdued him. I cannot take part in this. I never believed in preemptive justice, and this is not what Valinor has taught us. I'm sorry, Sir Baldur, and I'm sorry for Roland. Listen to his reasoning, Faldor. Sir Baldur's determination is unwavering. There is nothing to consider. There is nothing more to say. Nestor cannot see the danger you pose to the public, but I do. I apologize, Roland, but this is for the good of all. So, 4-on-1 and you still want to fight?
By my direction, attack!
Is he any good? Not that good. He's pretty much immune to everything, and if he's a paladin, he has amazing saving throws. But I think I can basically neuter his combat capabilities. He has... right. He has extra Inquisitors to even out the numbers a bit. Okay, the melee guy should be able to handle him now. Ooh, this is a chance for me to play around with the prismatic spray. One failure. But no one else was even hit. This is why I sort of dislike the spell, because it's very hard to get it to hit. You don't see where it's going to go. Like, I at all see where it's going to go. I mean, I have no idea how wide the fucking arc is. It's a spell cone, yeah, thanks. Range short. But what the fuck? Cones can be a lot of different things. There's 9 of them. What? 180 degrees, 90 degrees, 45 degrees? What the fuck is it? I'm gonna try. Sorry if you die, by the way, Percy. Okay. Fortitude failure, mind spells failure, fortitude success. Sir Baldur is dead. Days, I'm not sure what they succeeded or failed with. Alright, I'm not gonna be a popular guy in this city after this. Map piece. You must combine this map piece with any others in your possession. Right. So it's worthless until we have the other pieces. Paladin armor, paladin sword. Ooh, ring of protection.
This is too much to carry.
I wonder what happens if you're a paladin. Would it make a difference? I sort of think that it might not, but at the same time, that's the only lawful good character of some sort. Is the only that I see that might be able to avoid this fight. And I have my doubts about that. But with the others chosens that we've encountered, almost always there has been a way to Either avoid the fight or make sure it won't end in death. Either way, we need to go. Anyone want to discuss this? No? Probably no. Didn't kill the Hespites.
Hello to you.
The Hespite priest, head bowed in solemn prayer, looks up at you slowly. The seer is dead. May the gods forgive his sins. What's going to happen? Why didn't he foresee his death? He did. The seer had a vision of this outcome many years ago. But sometimes every path will lead to the same result. This was one of these. The seer's death was unavoidable. I still don't know what all of this means. So we need to reach the temple. Maybe the other guardians know something.
Wait, hear me out.
Okay. I'm hearing.
What do you want?
You hear Montador mutterings. No, okay. Montador studies you carefully, though not for the first time. So you are one of the chosen. I'm surprised, to put it mildly. No more surprised than I am, that's for sure. The longer I've known you, the stronger you become. But you're by no means the force of nature the chosen are supposed to be. He pauses before continuing. Don't construe this as a compliment, but what I do see in you is the same thing I've always seen. Potential. Every once in a while I see you accomplish something that must have a result of more than luck. Yeah, I do take that as a compliment, thank you. He sighs. Fine, but don't get used to it. I'm not trying to get in the habit of patting your back. There is a story in Romathia about an orphan child. A story not unlike your own. I loathe to tell stories, but the similarities are compelling. Go on. He scowls and mutters to himself for a moment before continuing. There are tales told to children in Romathia about a child found in a village one day wrapped in a blanket. The village elders searched the entire island for the child's family, but never found it. A couple took the child in out of compassion and raised him as their own. They named him Celes. As he grew, the villagers began to notice oddities about him. His skin became reddish and hard to the touch, as though it was covered in an invisible layer of iron scale. His fingers grew rapidly so that they had to be trimmed on a daily basis. He had two bony bumps on his back that nobody could explain. He was sensitive to the cold, but had an unusual affinity for the heat. He preferred to lie in the sun for hours. It never became exhausted or dehydrated. The village children taunted him and called him a fiend, as children are wont to do. Right. Even his adopted brother and sister played cruel jokes on him. When his foster parents died in a fire many years later, the village blamed him and cast him out. By now, Celius had become a young man, But he was alone in the world, and every village he visited cast him out because of his appearance. He became bitter and resentful of people. One day he came upon a cave that seemed very familiar. He walked in and saw a great red dragon, dying from wounds inflicted in a battle against an army of Ramathians. The dragon was his father. The dragon explained that Celius had a human mother who died giving birth to him, and as a male dragon knows little of childbearing, particularly a child with human blood, he was thus brought to the village for adoption. When the dragon perished, the young man developed a terrible hatred for man. Realizing that he is half dragon, he also underwent further changes. The bumps on his back became wings, and he grew true scales on his skin. Before his father perished, he was told of a place where other dragons lived, where he could live in peace. But before Stelius left for this place, he returned to the village he grew up in and burned it to the ground. Why did you tell me this story? The moral of the story for Ramathian children is that they should be kind to others, even if they are different. But there is a different meaning for you. Celius developed his power after he'd learned his true identity, and it is my belief that your true potential will only be reached now that you know yours. But I wonder, how will you use your power? I don't know. I don't even know what it means to be me. He nods. I suppose you can't answer that question until you know exactly what it means to be the chosen of Acacius. I have another question, but this should be easier to answer. What do you plan to do with your companions? You'll always be my most trusted allies. He doesn't reply for a moment, then takes a deep breath, almost like a sigh of relief. I don't know if you'll keep your word when the time comes. I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Let's get going. Let's. Hmm. We need 3 map pieces. There are 3 paths outside the city that I haven't visited. The one has to go to the hidden temple, and 2 will go to the places where we'll get the extra map pieces. I'll try to reach the outside of the city and end it there. I'm not sure how long it will take to get the extra map pieces. I mean, how large are the individual areas with the Guardians? Is it just some kind of a tougher monster fight, or is it an actual area for you to adventure in? We're still in great shape, spellcasting wise. Don't feel like we need to rest. Right. We're less than 2,000 experience points away from a level up. Not sure if we were gonna get anything interesting with that. We probably should not show our face in the temple district at the moment. I have no idea how the paladins are gonna react to what happened. Better just get out of the city. Searing. No. We need to visit the cartographer first. Okay. Leishia. Oh, help me! Help me! There are muggers in my home. Please help me. Okay. Tell me who you are first. There's no time. My husband is being attacked. Something is wrong here. I have a bad feeling about this, Roland. Well, fuck. Fuckity fuck. Bad feeling, you say?
Greetings.
Percy, prepare yourself for the next battle. No, fuck. Need to put eyes on you. Your shadow shield. Right. No matter what it is, it shouldn't be too tough. Unknown location. Okay. Kurojin. Challenging. Clearly a wizard. Totaku. Challenging. A wizard. Leishia. Moderate. I have no idea what she is. Morito. Ooh, an Akuma. Challenging. Morito. Impossible. Holy shit. Immune to everything. Another wizard, another Akuma. So it's a trap, but what exactly for?
Yes.
There is no flesh on the face of this creature, but the wings and the infernal fire burning in its eyes allude to its true nature. A dead mortal race and empowered by the Lord of the Hells. You are gazing upon a creature few believe to exist. It is a demon lich. A voice that is mostly human speaks. Welcome to my domain, dear Evanine. Who are you? How do you know who I am? Dear Evanine, you are too intelligent to ask such questions. You've grown into such a lovely young woman, but you've let your guard down. The Evanine I knew wouldn't have fallen for such a simple charade. Ashia, the woman who led you into this place undergoes transformation. Evanine is trembling into emotion. It can't be. Uncle Morito. Why does it surprise you so? Have you forgotten your Uncle Morito already? I suppose it should be expected from someone who has caused so much tragedy in her own home. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. Wasn't it? Whose blade was it that plunged into my chest that fateful night? Whose hand guided the blade that pierced the heart of her own flesh and blood? You are the one who stabbed me. You are the one who left me to bleed to death without calling for help. I couldn't. You couldn't help your own uncle? You couldn't do something to try and stop the bleeding? You left me in a pool of my own blood. Why, Evanine? Why did you just leave me to die? But mother and father. Whose fault was it that they died? Had your father not reserved the throne of Xi'an for you, there would have been no coup. Had your parents not been so preoccupied saving you alive, they would have escaped the attack. No, stop. It was an accident. I didn't mean to hurt you. I never wanted to compete with you, Uncle. I never even wanted the throne. I only wanted... You wanted a happy family. You wanted peace and prosperity for the people of Xi'an. The foolish ideals of a silly girl. It was you, Evanine. It was always you who was the centerpiece of the upheaval in your home. You are the reason your parents are dead. You caused the death of your own uncle. Look at what's left of my face. Look at me. You're one word away from dying a second time, Skullface. Don't be sad, Evanine. Evanine bursts into tears, her emotions overwhelming her. She is ready to collapse to her knees. That's enough. How dare you blame her for your sins? You feel the empty sockets of the skull turn their attention to you. I should thank you, Chosen One. I suspect dear Evanine would not have fallen for such a simple ruse, but you're compelled to meddle in the affairs of others, aren't you? This time, you meddle in the affairs of my home and province. You meddle in the affairs of a lord of the hills, the one who has granted me a second chance. Not even Hecacius will protect his moth from burning in my candle. You're a murderer and a devil worshipper. It's you who will burn. The demon lich laughs, a hollow sound of wind upon bone. So the Chosen One is confused about his fate. You will never master the powers of your liege, and I know just how to kill my deeds. I'm sorry, Roland. I didn't want you involved in this. If you live and I die today, I hope you can forgive me for dragging you into this. I have tracked you across 2 continents and the Crescent Sea. My lord desires your sweet blood as payment for the coup and my enhancements. There is no escape this time, Evanine. You and your friends will die. I have no idea how good. It seems like it's basically 4 wizards and 2 warriors versus our group. With everyone being high level. Morito being the worst offender though. However, I don't think I can play the Morito out of this fight in any easy manner. And I have no fucking clue what the companions will do. So what I think I should do is try to basically kill the casters as quickly as possible. I'm going to need a spell shield of some sort. That I can't get around that. Okay, who doesn't have a...
By my direction, attack!
Right, I'm not sure well, how much damage is needed to done to take these out, but let's start with him. Two down. I think they killed their own guys though. Montador is going down fairly quickly. Okay, take down Totaku. I haven't been paying too much attention to what happens. What happened to the Kumas? Where's a notification about the Kuma characters? Were the mages maintaining them or something? The reason Montador lost half his life is because of the Akumas. But I don't see them being killed, but I don't see them either, so what the fuck is going on? They're doing a decent amount of damage, about 20 per hit at least. And no one is attacking them. they just disappear. I'm guessing they're somehow tied to the spellcasters then, so it was a good idea to try to burn through them quickly. Right. Doesn't matter what attack I do as long as it does even a little bit of damage, so keywords black tentacles it is. No 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 no. Whatever. Okay, if I can bring his defenses down, he's basically done for. He's not casting a shield, so I can probably cast a high level attack spell on him. Do you have fire immunity? You have divine weakness. He's immune to fucking everything. Yep. I don't think I particularly need to do anything to him. I'll do a maximized flame arrow. If he's not immune, this is gonna hurt. Well, he's so resistant. That's not a way to kill him. I need you to heal yourself. Right. Missile Storm would be an easy way to take him out, I think. Or reluctant to do it. Whatever, just fucking murder him. Right. It still was worthwhile. I think some of these guys were maintaining their Kumas. So going for them was a good idea. I loot stuff. Ooh. Firmok, the Abyssal Lord. A god among the creatures of the hills. That's bad. Morito, where is the blood I desire? I do not have it yet, great lord of the hills, but nothing. Once you fail me, so I bless you with immortality. Twice you fail me, so I curse you to eternal damnation. Don't spare me, great. No! Let's chat a bit, right? You wouldn't mind if we get the fuck out of here first, would you?
Hello there.
I'm so sorry I dragged you into a fight with my uncle, Roland. I'm glad you're alright. She looks away from you as though she's too ashamed to make eye contact with you. It's alright, we got some good loot from it. Well, I don't know if we did. Your fight is my fight, Evanine. I'm glad you feel that way, Roland, but I'm not sure I agree. If something would have happened to you, I'll always have your back, no matter what. Thank you, Roland. I'll always do my best to watch yours as well. Right, we got some kind of a scroll. Probably needed to get the hell out of here. I'd like to find out what we got as loot. Okay, where are we? Right. Ah, feats. Forgot we still get these. There's no real metamatic feats, and I don't. I think I'll take the spell penetration. Doesn't come into play all that often, to be fair, but at the same time it does come now and then. And I have nothing I particularly want as far as spellcasting abilities. I could take arcane defenses, but again, I can have spell shield and spell mantles, so those would be the better choice anyway. So spell penetration it is. +2 bonus to caster level checks to beat a creature's spell resistance. Right. I don't think it makes any kind of a difference, but at the same time, I'm more than happy with the feats I have now. I don't care for the rest. 9th level spells. Bigby's Crushing Hand. The Masturbation Hand. Or is it the Clenched Fist? I think it's the Crushing Hand. That's doing the jerk-off motion on the enemy. Greater Spell Mantle. 1d12 plus 10 levels of spell before collapsing. Meteor Swarm. Spell causes everything within the area of effect to be pummeled by incoming meteors. All those caught in the destruction take 20d6 points of damage. All creatures within 5 feet of the caster are protected from the spell's effects. So it's basically a massive area of effect attack that does not affect the caster or anyone hugging him. Mordecai's Disjunction. Attempts to strip all magical effects from a single target. It can also target a group of creatures, attempting to remove 2 most powerful spell effects from each creature. Spell will lower the spell resistance of all creatures when the area of effect by 10. Nothing really protects against this. But it's in the computer games, Mordecai's Disjunction isn't that great. I suppose the spell resistance reduction is valuable. Weird. So the Meteor Swarm is really the only combat thing we can do. It's not that amazing. In theory, it could do 120 points of damage, but you can't maximize this shit or empower it. It does an okay amount of damage. But the problem is, I would use this to clear an area out of trash so I can focus on the main opponent. I would never use this on something actually dangerous. Black Blade of Disaster. Bigby's Crushing Fist is better. A giant hand appears and attacks the target. If it hits and succeeds in grapple check, the target is held fast for the duration of the spell and suffers 2d6 plus 12 points of damage each round, and it lasts for 20 rounds. More importantly, it's basically playing a guy out of the fight. Fortitude 6, Fortitude 6. Fortitude check, so it's good against rogues and mages. I think I'll take it. Any switching? No, I'm more or less okay with what we have. I'm not using the detect mode, so go away. Right, perfect. How do I get out of here? Right, identification. Might be able to identify things through other means, and I need to visit the cartographer anyway. Let's visit the cartographer first. I have a Ring of Lore. On its own, it's nothing. It's not enough, but Ring of Lore and some kind of a identify effect would possibly be enough to identify most things. Where's the... There you are. Samson.
Greetings.
Do you have any maps to Dim Rush Vale? He pauses to give you a questioning look. That's an unusual request. For what reason would you wish to visit such a place? I've been directed there by someone. Well, I hope you realize that someone is playing a joke on you, because Dim Rush Vale is no place for even the hardiest of adventurers. What do you mean? Dim Rush Vale lies about 2 weeks' travel to the southwest of Syrian. It is a dense forest of moderate size, surrounded by very rugged terrain and few small mountains and valleys. By all accounts, it's haunted. The forest is said to be the home of wood elves who left the forest of Genesa after the Dark Elf invasion. The Genesans were a peaceful folk who were forced to become warriors to fight the Dark Elves many centuries ago. The Genesans who settled in Dimrush Vale had hoped to escape war and start their society anew. This was not to be, for as a few generations later, King Azra and Queen Sindalar Azaric marched their armies through the area. A call was made by neighboring settlements to the Genesans in Dimrush Vale to help. They reluctantly agreed, but they never arrived as they said they would. By the time the Azarics were done, most of the neighboring towns were destroyed and thousands were slain. The surviving shamans in the area placed a curse of eternal unrest on Dimrush Vale. Today, it is a place so terrible that the only known creature to live within is a powerful witch. This is the place you're inquiring about. Yeah, I still want to go. Well, if you're insisting on going, who am I to stop you from throwing yourself into a forest full of ghosts? I don't have a map to Dimbrush Vale, but I do have a map to the town of Oakwood, which is just a day or so away. You can ask the residents of Oakwood for directions to the forest. The map costs 5 gold pieces. I'll take it. Do you have any maps of Amridal? As in the ruins of Amridal? Nobody has mapped to that horrible place. Why would you want to go there? Yeah, I have a personal reason to go there. Nobody has personal reasons to go there. Do you even know what the place is? Why didn't you tell me? Ambridale is an ancient dwarven stronghold, among the furthest south they've ever gone from their homeland of Volkern. The settlers of Ambridale came from the Iron Mountain. When they first built Ambridale, it was a place of wonders, nestled high in the Atalantius Mountains. Most of the area is covered in snow, but the stronghold was built near a sleeping volcano, so it was always warm there. Even more important to the dwarves was the source of mithril they found inside, the richest source of mithril in Istar. They boasted about the quality of their source far and wide. Amridel was one of the few places in Myr untouched by war during the time of the Azarics. It was too high in the mountains for an army to approach, and too easily defended to besiege, so the Azarics actually formed a truce with them. Shortly after the truce, however, Amridel seemed to self-destruct. One day, a handful of bloody dwarves staggered out of it and warned people to never return. Any expeditions into Amridel since have failed. Nobody returns. Yeah, I still need to go. Well, it's your life to waste. I don't actually have a map to the ruins of Amridal, but I do have a map to the halfling village of Hamlin, which lies in the same mountain range as your destination. Ask the residents of Hamlin where the ruins are, and they'll direct you there. Hamlin itself is a few weeks' journey to the east, and the journey is made longer by the fact that much of it is uphill. Map costs 5 gold pieces. Right. So, do I need to... I can't use these. I'm guessing this is the item needed for you to unlock the travel option. We already checked the wilderness, but we couldn't actually travel before. You wouldn't happen to be able to identify items?
Hello there.
Yeah, no, he's selling fishies. Clams, mussels, shrimp, lobster. Right. Mr. Rickshaw. Take me to a shop.
Hello.
I'll rest outside the city. Who knows who's gonna come after
Hello
me
there.
if I stay here. Ooh, natural armor +5. That's +1 armor for someone. Gauntlets of even-handedness. Ambidexterity to have weapon fighting. Dexterity +2. This looks like a monk's robe. It is. +6, -6 persuasion, you're right. Freedom. Sell it. Pipes of Kazuo's chimes. Unique power, 1 use per day, only by bards, so boo. Divine Fury, +3 katana, electrical damage, stun. It's a good weapon. The stun effect is fantastic. It's basically fight over if you get it to hit. Whirlwind attack, cold damage +4. Right. Eleanor's Guard. It's a wonderful heavy armor. Charisma, immunity to fear, only usable by evil. Persuasion, only usable by good. Just go away. Valorous Decree. Bonus damage versus evil creatures. Enchantment bonus. On hit, dispel magic. So it's sort of a... It's a good all-around weapon. A big problem with a lot of fighters is that they have no way to deal with the defenses that mages have. So an automatic dispel effect on hit would at least help. I'm not sure if it would really make that much of a difference, because it's a difficulty class 14, and I'm not quite sure what determines, how many bonuses does the opposition get. If it's just a d20
Hello.
roll, then it's very nice. If not, either way, at least you have a chance of dispelling defenses with that. I don't particularly care which place we go first. I'm sure we're more than capable of handling both. So it's either a haunted forest with some kind of a ghost elves, or abandoned dwarven fortress. Western March. Hamlin. Oakwood and Hamlin. Right, those were the places. By the way, rest first. Hmm. Three 9th level spells. That should allow us a lot of options through meta magic. Maximize 9th level spells. Glacier Missile Storm, Chain Lightning, Lesser Spell Mantle, Firebrand, Black Tentacles. Black Tentacles and, well, the Isaac's Greater Missile Storm Maximize is probably one of the best attack spells you can have, because you can basically protect it through spell shields, but that's about it. You have no saving throw. Spell resistance and spell shields, but nothing else. And it will fire about 20 times with R levels. Each missile will, at maximize, will do 12 points of damage. So yeah, what? 240 points of damage. And there's nothing you can do about it, no saving throw. So let's say about 18th level fighter has about that much life. Everyone else will have less. How much constitution do you have? Why do you have negative constitution? Something's he has an item that produces it, right? But it's still above average. So it's basically an instant kill spell against most individual opponents. Tougher ones might require 2 to 3 shots, but it will fucking kill everything, absolutely everything. Definitely ridiculously overpowered. I'm not sure it is supposed to function like this. It follows all the rules, but apparently I'm going to Hamlin. Fine, that would be the Dwarven fortress. The path continues to climb upward into the Atalantis mountain range. Based on the directions in your map, the village of Hamlin lies about 2 weeks' journey